and Elaine said to you, can you pretend, Lauren? And you said, in what language?
She was amazed. And
Well,
you did it.
when they said, why can't your grandkids? Bloody can't.
What did you honestly think when you first met your Korean son-in-law, and were you worried about any cultural or language barriers between our families?
It didn't bother me really, as long as you liked him, you know, at the end of the day. But you might be different culturally. Can I say it?
Culturally.
In culture.
Hang on, I can't say it.
In cultures.
Culturally.
That's it.
There we go.
That's the word. I get tongue-tied sometimes.
Oh, you did just well, trying to help
and,
you out.
But I think being the same faith helped.
To be honest, I think Koreans and British, we're different in culture, but I think like family values are very similar.
I think so, yeah.
And also morals. So I think there's obviously a difference in culture and language, but it's not that big in the things that are important to us.
But, you know, I do think being the same faith helps. You know, because I think sometimes it can get in the way of things otherwise.
Yeah, I think it's more the morals you learn from the faith, though. It's
Yeah,
like a
Christian values.
yeah mindset.
Yeah.
No, I just thought, what'll be, will be.
You didn't care so much about, I don't know, what Mum's just said. You cared more about how a man treated me, didn't you?
Yeah.
That they were nice to me and whatnot.
Yeah.
I thought he was lovely because when I used to go shopping with you both.
Well, it could be manners, wouldn't it?
It would be manners. He used to hold
Yeah.
the door open
Yeah.
for me and
Yeah.
help me carry me shopping.
Yeah.
Carried all your bags. I don't know what you're on about helping.
He did carry me shopping for me.
I also thought there's a lot of chavs in England. You know, I say in everyone, but there was a lot about.
Yeah.
They don't treat women respectfully.
No.
But I don't know if that's also a location issue, because I did speak to a friend who went to uni in Nottingham and she was saying how polite and well mannered the blokes there were compared to here where we're living in the black country.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it is just a location issue, but
Could be. Yeah.
there's also
There's
that.
bad people in all locations, really.
No matter if it's just location,
No, but I was
nationwide
going
or
back
country.
on my time as a young bloke where you had to be well mannered.
Yeah.
You get a clip round the ear roll.
Well, I think Hugh's got old-fashioned values.
Yeah,
He treats people respectfully.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
What is the strangest thing I've told you about my life in Korea where you thought, wow, we definitely don't do that in Britain? And on the other hand, what is something in Korea that you think would be good if it was implemented in Britain?
Oh, good manners for a start.
Yeah. Clean streets, clean buildings, no
Yeah.
paper flying about and takeaways, tubs and something.
Drug culture as well.
Yeah.
We've got.
Openly selling on the streets and that.
Well, we saw not long ago, didn't we, on the motorway, the sign saying don't drug and drive.
Yeah, and it used to be drink and drive at one time, hadn't it?
Yeah.
But I can remember Wendy when she was a policewoman. She said if you stop a kid today, it's more likely to be drug related than drink related.
Yeah.
And that was a few years back, that was, and it's got worse.
A bit worrying, really, because when people are desperate for drugs, they'll rob people, won't they? And
Yeah.
attack people for the money
Yeah.
and stuff,
Yeah.
you know.
And
So
the more-
one thing leads to another, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I think you're better off where you are.
Is there anything you thought was strange that you thought we don't do that in Britain that I've told you about life in Korea?
Eating a squid while it's still kicking.
Live squid. It just tastes nicer. Oh, it's live octopus, not squid, sorry.
Is it octopus?
It is, but it does taste a lot nicer than it looks.
I've never liked squid.
I don't fancy eating something while it's still moving.
I think the texture's too hard.
Well, octopus, what it is it's a bit, I think it's a bit harder, and also because it's got the little suction cup.
That's right, yeah.
You've got to chew quite a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's very different to the British palate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't the suction cups stick to the inside of your mouth?
They do, so you've got to chew them really well.
So you chew them to death?
Pretty much. Anything else you can think of?
Really, no.
Not without visiting the place.
I'd like to visit one day.
I'd like to visit, but I wouldn't have won't be able to do 15 hours.
It's only 15 hours because of all the wars you've got to avoid different
but
countries.
I know.
What would the other be, 12?
It was 12 before,
Yeah.
around about.
Yeah.
12's still a lot for somebody that's old, though, isn't it?
It's a lot for me, and I'm young. Well, relatively young.
I can remember doing one of the Spanish islands in the 70s, and that was 4 hours, and that was enough for me.
Was it?
And 2 hours on the couch after that, 6 hours. And I was only probably in my 30s.
You can just have some virtual trips. They've got everything on YouTube these
I
days.
know, yeah.
If you could teleport, like
That would be great.
Doctor Who or somebody, you know.
If you could
Bring me up,
teleport,
Scott,
I would have teleported this time because 15 hours was a
yeah.
killer, it was.
As
It'd be
I
great,
say,
wouldn't
burn me up, Scotty.
A Star. Was that Star? No, Star Trek.
Star
was it?
Trek.
Oh, I
Star
thought
Trek.
it was Back to the Future.
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
I've not seen Star Wars or Star Trek. I'm probably going to get roasted in the comments. Before I started learning Korean, did you know anything about Korea other than what was on the news? And what was your original mental image of the country?
I didn't think it was so modern as it is.
No.
You know, because a lot of places around here are very old-fashioned, didn't they? I do like the old-fashioned things, though.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a nice, clean city where you live.
It is very clean. Even if you're just arriving in Incheon Airport, you can tell how clean everything is.
And I only knew about the 1950s, the war.
Yeah.
That's the only way but I couldn't have told you what was the difference between Koreans and Chinese, really, To us then, they all look the same.
But there was something scientific that came out, I think it was recently, a study that I read. People of the same race have an easier job identifying each other than you would other races. So I don't know if it's to do with that.
It probably is. We probably all look very similar to Korean people,
I would say so, probably, yeah.
British people,
Yeah. They probably think Brits, the French, the Australians, everyone
All the
looks the
Europeans,
yeah.
all the Europeans look the same.
Yeah.
But I'm gradually beginning to tell the difference. I can tell the writing and that now, and fussy Korean writing,
Well, yeah, you've told me a
and
lot.
Japanese writing and Chinese writing. I can tell the difference.
You've told me a lot. When I say, oh, he's a Chinaman, you say, no, he's Korean. And it's been right.
And a few times actually when we were walking around London, when we just went, some people have been talking and Mum goes, are they Korean? And I said, yeah.
Oh.
Because
I have picked up bits and pieces.
I think you can recognise the language a
I
bit.
can, yeah. Which I wouldn't have been able to before because
No.
I never really showed any interest or anything until you did I?
But I think
But it's nice to be enlightened, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think when you learn about other cultures or even if you learn other languages, it enlightens you because you get different opinions on things, you see different cultures, and I think there's no way you can't be open-minded after learning another language.
See, when we was kids, we got no chance of going abroad.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have the money.
Yeah.
Because your dad was born in 1946, so it was during the war, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I guess there wouldn't be so many direct flights places either,
No, there
would
weren't,
there?
no. It'd only be the rich travelling in them days.
Or people in the armed forces, or
That would be for wars, really, wouldn't it?
yeah, or if they were travelling with the army or the navy or whatever that forces they were in, they'd be doing quite a bit of travelling. But ordinary people didn't go much outside the country.
No.
I think it's also an issue with probably education because in history and whatnot, we only learn about our own country's history. We don't learn about other places, do we?
No,
So,
especially Korea, China, Japan. If anything, it'd just be
Those were like exotic holidays, those were when we were young. If somebody said, oh, we're going to China or somewhere for our holidays, and thinking, blimey, they've got plenty of money.
yeah.
well, they'd probably be millionaires, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
So I think places like that, if you don't find an interest or look into them yourself, you don't really get to know about them, do you?
No.
I guess these days when K-pop and K-dramas and whatnot are more mainstream, you'll get average people saying, have you watched Squid Game? Have you heard any BTS songs and whatnot? But you wouldn't have a few years ago. And
No.
definitely not in your day.
No, because we rule the world with music and fashion then.
There was the Beatles,
Beatles.
the Stones, all different British bands, really.
Yeah.
Kinks, the Tremolos. The 1960s, was like the British Revolution of music, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, it was.
There was a lot of going to America at the time, but you never heard of any other countries countries that they went.
So, did you have an original mental image of Korea then before I said I was learning and before you, I don't know, were influenced with
Not really,
what you know
no.
of Korea
but,
now?
But because like we've got Wi-Fi and things, we started to watch the Korean dramas together, didn't we?
We did.
I was a bit more enlightened than quite a few other people. I'm not looking at you. I'm just looking at you.
No, and all I could see of Korea was old pictures of the Korean War,
Yeah.
but it was mainly mountains and
Yeah.
and that, you know.
I think there is a lot of mountains in Korea.
Yeah.
I think when it was less mainstream, the only thing you really heard about Korea on the TV was like threats from Kim Jong-un threatening to invade, bomb
that's right.
Korea or
But
something.
not so much of him, really. I never knew about him until the last 20 years.
I mean, we'd heard about the Japanese
Yeah.
attacking the Korean people and things like that, but it was never much in the mainstream media.
News, yeah.
No.
Okay, so next question. In your opinion, who is the most famous South Korean or South Koreans alive today?
Son.
Sonny. You like Sonny?
Son. He's a good player, but I don't know anybody else.
The British people love Sonny, don't they?
They do, yeah. He's a good footballer.
You.
Psy.
Son.
Who saw it?
Upper Gangnam.
Oh,
Sang Upper
yeah.
Gangnam.
Oh, yeah.
Upper Gangnam
Yeah.
Style. I don't really know much, to be honest. I know some of the groups. I know Big Bang and I know BTS. Can't think.
It's okay.
Sounds like a supermarket to me.
BTS.
To me. Not the BHS.
Was it bacon, tomato and sausage?
Is that how you remember it?
No.
In Korean, it's 방탄소년단, which is like bulletproof boys.
Oh, is that what it means? Thank you.
Don't know why they're supposed to be bulletproof.
Perhaps it's because they're so thin and
All K-pop idols are
I
thin.
know they are.
It's quite a shame though because they put them through like rigorous training from when they're teenagers.
Do they?
And I guess it would distort the mental image if someone's telling you you're fat and you need to lose weight all the time and you're barely eating, having to go through like dance practices and routines all day.
Are a lot of the bands like man-made?
Yeah.
Put together?
Selected from auditioning and then usually trained from when they're young teens.
So it's a bit like Take That and a couple of groups in this country, isn't it?
Yeah. Have you ever watched a Korean drama or film? And if so, what did you think? Did you like it? Was
Yeah.
there anything you disliked?
Yeah. I liked Squid Games. I liked, what was that one? That man was killing women.
Huh?
I've seen a few horrors.
Oh, the film The Chaser.
Scared the life out of me.
Yeah.
I like the historical ones in
Yeah.
Korea as well, about the old king. Not, well, you don't call them kings, do you?
No, they were kings.
Were they kings?
It's mainly Joseon Dynasty ones you've seen. I forgot what it's called in English, but 우리 깊은 나무, I think it's The Tree with Deep Roots. That was
Yes,
one.
that was one.
Mr.
Yeah.
Sunshine, that was in the Gyeongsang period, I think, with Lee Byung-honin, you know, the guy who was in Red.
Yeah, and I like
And G.I. Joe.
Train to Busan.
Train to Busan.
Mm,
You
that
like
was
a good zombie film though, don't you?
Yeah, it was scary, that was.
What about you, Dad? We watched a Korean drama recently, didn't we?
Yeah, but when I've got to read the translation underneath, not just Korean, but any foreign language,
Can't keep up, can you?
no, the words get through too quick for me.
Yeah.
So why I'd sooner them being dubbed or something, you know?
Yeah. We did watch one dubbed, Teach
Teach
You a
You a
Lesson.
Lesson.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
Hamgyoyo
Oh
recently.
yeah, that was okay.
I like that the other day. I watched it. I binge watched that, didn't
We
I?
did.
I like it because of the violence.
You did. I think that was the first Korean drama you've sat through though,
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
it? Because, Mum likes Korean dramas. Well, when I watched them with her, she liked them. So I thought, we'll put this on because we really enjoyed watching it and I wanted to recommend it to you. And we thought straight away, Dad's not going to like it because of the subtitles. So we put it on dubbed, but we thought still, he's probably not going to watch it. But because it was that violent and he was throwing kids around and whatnot, you
yeah.
said, oh, this is all right, actually.
He said some of the kids over here could be treated like
They're
that
good.
Yeah.
because they've got no respect for the teachers.
No, I think it's the same in a lot of countries though.
Yeah.
Would you have ever watched something Korean if it hadn't have been from my influence?
I heard heard a while back about people that are actually going to the hospital with pretty serious things wrong with them and then waiting anything from 8 to 12, 13 hours.
In the
Yeah.
hospital.